I wanted to share Susan with everybody today because Susan embodies what we are doing here in TapFitFam. My vision for Tap Fitness Family is not just tap dancing and shuffles and flaps and hops. It's also not just stretching and strengthening, which we also have, where we're just stretching and moving our body. It's truly to embody the things that we learn in the dance space when we are doing those things, but to take those things and put them in everyday life. And Susan, you so beautifully dance through life with so many things. And so I would love for you to share with everybody, first off, where you are in the world, because this is exciting.
Well,
And
I'm in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil.
love it. And where do you go back and forth between sometimes? Because you're not always there.
No, I go home to UK because my children are there, and also to Germany where my husband's family are. So between the three countries, we tend to sort of go hopefully once a year if everything works out all right. It depends how things. But I'm not from England. I'm actually from Scotland. That's where I'm originally from. Although my parents were English, so really I'm called a Sassenach by birth.
Say that again. What is it called?
Sassenach,
Sassenach.
Sassenach, yeah, because I have English parents. It's a Scot
Okay.
born of English parents.
A Scot born of English parents.
Hmm.
Sassenach. I
Hmm.
see. I just learned something new today. That's amazing. Okay. And so can you just let us know a little bit, when did you start dancing, Susan?
Basically, I started dancing when I lived in Scotland. I did ballet. I did Scottish dancing at school. We started at the age of 5, which I loved. Um, and I did ballet up to almost at the points, but I didn't do anything else, and I didn't go regularly because it was difficult to get there at that time, my parents. But I did, and obviously I did a lot of Scottish dancing as well because it was part of the curriculum in the school, which I adored. When we moved to Belgium when I was 11, that's why I speak French, and I was at a French school. I didn't really do anything much for almost 3 years, I would say, because it just didn't happen. And we moved around a lot in Belgium until my parents decided to have a house built. And then when I came back to boarding school in England at the age of 15, that's when probably I had more of a chance to do a bit of, dance at school, that kind of thing. So, and I did. But I did more dance probably as I went into the sixth form in another school and really started to enjoy it. I'd never done tap. I never did tap until must have been in my 40s, I think, because both my children did dance. You see, my son he did 10 years of ballet. He started at the age of 5. Um, my daughter then wasn't, wa- did stuff with him afterwards. And both of them did quite a number of years of dance, but all dance, ballet, tap, modern, Spanish, um, jazz, all that kind of thing. Boys' modern workout is what my son did. He was in Tommy. He was Tommy age 10 in the West End in London when he was 12. Did 5 months there. And my daughter did Harry Potter. So, but like featured, she was behind them. So the kids did quite a lot of dance. So when they did an adult thing, I started doing tap, ballet, and jazz. Loved it. And when I was training as a teacher, I did the African dance, which I enjoyed, a course on that. And I always was at the disco on a Friday, Saturday night. Always. I was there. I was always there. I just loved it. And I still love dance. I watch any film you can imagine. And I watched, what was it? That mum one. It was on, oh, I don't know. I watched part of some of the series of where these mums, the children were always doing various things. I watched that for a long time. But um, no, and when I had the opportunity of starting tap here, because a friend of mine, um, a friend of mine, she's half English. She said to me she wanted to do tap dance, so I said, "Oh, I'd love to come along." So that's how it started about 4 or 5 years ago. She stopped, I've carried on.
Of course. You're not the first person that I've heard that. They're like, well, my friend invited me in and then they stopped, but I'm hooked and I'm still here. Yeah, I love that. Thank you to the friends who drag us in, even if they leave us stranded at some point.
Mhm. And
Susan,
then on top of that, obviously we've been to Joinville twice and done the competition. The first year we won, the second year we didn't get classified, but we were, it was a great experience anyway, you know. Um, and we're all over 60. So,
and
but
there's a
I
large
have,
group of you. How many in
yes,
that?
the original group, there was 12 of us, I think, 12 or 13. There's now 11. But I haven't actually gone back to rehearsals on Friday because after having my cataract done, I've taken it slowly. I've I've only just started back at TAP on Saturdays now. So
And when you go, is it just the hour on Saturdays, Susan, or is it?
no, it's 2 hours now.
Yeah.
December before the Christmas show, I was doing 12 hours of tap dance a week.
Yeah, Lindsay. Lindsay just said, wow. Yeah, 12 hours a week
12
at
hours a week because we
over
had
60, 60 and over for this whole group. It's right.
mhm,
Christopher's in the chat. He
because
said, wow.
I had my lessons, my normal lessons for an hour and a half. One or two I didn't turn up on actually, but I was always there Friday and Saturday when we were rehearsing. And then I had the workshop with another teacher called Amalia. And we were preparing for the show, so obviously there was more rehearsal. Sometimes it could be, as I said, up to 12 hours a week. I found 4 hours on a Saturday morning too much. I couldn't manage it.
Susan, so when I danced professionally, we would have our rehearsals and they would be like 8-hour days. But I truly did that when I was in my 20s. And I think about
Hmm.
it in my 60s, 4-hour rehearsals in my 60s. I mean, I'm not there yet, but Sarah even just said in the chat, I love that so much. Wow, Susan, I want to be like you when I grow up. I mean, because it's 4 hours of movement that's not just repetitive movement. Yes, you're repeating and practicing, but it's
Hmm.
in your brain, it's working, it's boosting your
Hmm.
emotional state, it's energizing you based on
I
the
mean,
body.
yeah, we stop and have pauses, to drink water and
Yeah, yeah,
stuff,
yeah, of
and
course. And
and
in that,
and obviously, but yes, you are having to concentrate, and at the end of the 4 hours, I was just
yeah, done.
asleep.
Stick a fork in you, you're done. Well, I want to celebrate this. And so dance has been in your life since you were 5 in
Hmm.
some way,
Yeah.
shape, or form. Even when you were 11, in those couple years when you weren't
Hmm.
singing because you guys had,
Hmm.
I'm sure that music would still move you and be a part of who
Yes.
you are.
Well, what I will say to you is when we lived in Belgium, we moved around quite a bit. I had a pair of roller skates, and I used to make up dances on roller skates in the garage and sing to myself.
I love that. I just saw myself over the weekend. I have a student dancing to Gene Kelly's Singing in the Rain right now. And over the
Hmm.
weekend, I saw on my feed Gene Kelly's performance when he's tap dancing in the roller skates.
Hmm.
That just came to mind when you just said that. It's
I've seen all the films. I've seen everything.
so
Absolutely,
good.
there's a lot. You
So
know.
good. I have to ask you, Susan, both your kids danced. Does your husband ever in the musical theater world at all?
Um, my first husband was he. He's an English teacher, so he did theatre as a sort of hobby, and he did it a lot. Um, and great, Christopher. Uh, I'm 70 now, Chris.
Yeah, not 60, over 60.
Um, so yes, so he enjoyed, I would say, the sort of Latin American side of things. So he did a bit of that. Um, but I mean, even with the tap, we do a bit of samba tap as well, and that's interesting.
Ooh, I'm like, you even say it and I couldn't sit still. Whoa.
So I've learned some of the different techniques of a different kind as well. No, it's great fun. So yes, I would say my first husband was basically into theatre and obviously married to a Latino. Well, he's part German, part Brazilian. they have a way with music. Music's important, so it's always there. It's always around us, you know.
Yes.
So my husband's always playing lots of different types of music. It's just the way it is. And when we were married, we had coming into the for the meal, you know, after the church, we had ABBA playing, and
I love it.
yeah, and that was after the church. That was the reception. And my cousin, who lives in Australia, because the receptions here are very different to what you have in UK. Um, it was just one evening of continual dance, and my cousin, who's a singer, she just got up with the microphone, started singing, and everybody was on the dance floor until 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Literally,
Wow.
it was a huge event. You couldn't imagine. It was 100 or so of us, and it was just an amazing. I've never experienced anything like it. So you know,
Magical.
it,
Yeah,
it
Christopher said that's my idea of
reception
fun. For sure. Mine
reception
too.
was amazing. Even I mean, my dress, which is here actually, even um, they had the flowers on the table. Everything was coordinated, the whole lot. So
Ah,
yeah.
picture perfect. Picture perfect.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. Now, Susan, let me ask you, what is something that you've discovered about yourself through dancing? Like through your maybe even maybe even had like an aha in a moment of dance, maybe like in the reception or just in rehearsal, something that you've discovered about yourself that it has nothing to do with dance necessarily, but it's about who you are through the process of
I
dancing.
I think possibly it's given me just a bit more confidence because even though I'm a teacher and I've taught all years and taught languages and everything and general subjects as well, I was always a very person that was quite shy, never spoke out in staff meetings and things like that. Now I do. So I would say just more confidence really because I haven't got the worry of keeping a class under control or anything else, you know. And the fact that I have 10 grandchildren, you know, they rely on me.
Jeez, you have so many blessings in your life, Susan. This is why I was like, Susan needs to share her story and her gift of being in this world because 10 grandchildren, you've truly had dance in your life and not
Hmm.
one style, but you have played with so many styles of this art of dance and traveled in different places around the
Hmm.
world
Yes,
while you're
yes,
dancing, which gives
yes.
you a different flavor, right? And even
Hmm.
me in the States, teaching the way that I teach tap is different from the way that you're learning tap where you
Hmm.
are. So you get
Yeah.
such a good mix of
But but it's the only North American tap school, I think, in Rio de Janeiro, maybe in most of Brazil. That's the difference. They teach North American tap, and most of the teachers have done courses in the States and elsewhere. So
so it works well. Line.
that's the difference, you see. So it is your style, but obviously I'm learning the Portuguese words for it as well. So yeah, it's like
Which is
it's a language lesson.
I was going to say that it is a language lesson. And I've told you before, but I have a student that I work with in Argentina and she's a younger teen. And the mom was
Mhm,
like, I fully support this. This is language for her as well. She's working
mhm,
her English.
mhm.
I'm like, yes, because when you find something that's fun, right? And you can learn in that process, then the learning is easy. So yeah, you're learning a lot more of the language when you're finding a fun way to do it. I love that you said confidence though, Susan. And I think I have to say, I was an extremely shy kid. So much so
Mhm,
my mom brought me to the dance studio for the very first time. I didn't really want to dance. We just had to find something to fill my time after school before my mom
mhm,
came home. She was like, it's this or this. And so we went to the dance studio and I remember, like vividly remember this vision of me being holding onto my mom's leg and hiding into her thigh because they were talking like to me and about me. And I was like, I don't want to talk. I was so shy, terrified. And to think about that version of me and then the way that I show up in life
mhm,
now, it's drastically different. But I 100% equate that to dance and that the confidence
mhm.
that you build. And I think it's part of like I say, sometimes 5, 6, 7, 8, go. You don't have a lot of time to overthink. And you also know you're going to do it like 9,000 times.
Mhm.
So you're going to get it. It's okay. It builds
That's all
confidence.
right.
Um, would you say that you saw that in your children as well, or were they just more naturally confident coming from this like dance world always?
I would say that in some ways, but my daughter, she's got a lot more confidence than me because what the acting side gave both of them, they did do drama at uni as well. It's given them the confidence. I've got a son that can stand in front of 1,000 people, and even though he's quiet and shy, he can talk.
Yeah.
So I would say yes, it's given it that they've got the confidence probably that I never had, which is good. Yeah.
That's amazing, right? We want to see that in our children. We want them to
Hmm.
have something that
Yeah.
you have,
Yeah.
a skill set.
And the grandchildren, there are one or two of them who certainly have got that gift. You know, I have a granddaughter that does what's it, the American with the baton and all that. She's done all
Oh yeah,
that.
twirling.
Love the twirling. Yeah.
Yeah, twirling.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
My
yeah.
sister-in-law did that. I cannot.
No, I couldn't.
I I have hand foot coordination, not or sorry, like
Mm,
brain foot coordination. My hand eye coordination leaves a lot to be desired. I try to play tennis with my kids and they're like, "Mom, you're not looking athletic." I'm like, "I'm trying really hard." But that's where the dance part comes in is I'm like,
mm.
"Stop trying so much and just do it." Like
But
just
the
play.
dance is good for the rhythm. It's good for you, the
That's right.
dancing. Mm,
That's
you know.
right. I love it. Susan, let me ask you, do you think you'll always be dancing? Do you think dance will always be in your life?
Dance will always be there for me, always. And if eventually when I have to go back to UK, I know I've already sussed out one or two places where I can dance. Certainly, it'll always be there because I just like that kind of thing. And yes, I mean, as I said, if there's a film on dance, I will watch it. And sometimes there's some things on Facebook, on Instagram as well. I see them, the nana who's over 100 and dancing and that kind of thing.
Yes,
It's
dancing
amazing.
man. Yes.
Mm, mm. Well, we had somebody in our dance school. She was 101 when she stopped, and she's still alive today. I think she's 106, but she's not dancing now. But she was amazing, just amazing, just amazing. I think it keeps you coordinated. It helps with your muscles, um, and the bending and the stretching, and it's a whole body workout. Plus the fact it's fun, it just makes you smile. That's the best thing about it.
I couldn't
Learning
agree
something
more.
new. I mean, there are things that I know I can't do, like pullbacks. Oh, I can't. Just can't. I haven't tried wings yet, but I could do pullbacks before, not now.
I'm I want to highlight that not every step is necessary to tap dance,
Mm,
right? All have to do
yeah.
with pullbacks, single foot, anything, toe stands. Like none of that stuff is necessary to enjoy this
Mm,
art. Tap shoes aren't even necessary. So many people think, well, I can't tap dance because I don't have the space and the tools, right? The shoes and the board.
mm,
And I'm like, yeah, actually, trust me, that will make it more like the sweeter of
mhm,
the experience because you hear it and
mhm,
it's fun. But
mhm,
the art of just moving your body and learning it and empowering yourself and the confidence of learning something new and the
mhm,
vocabulary of it is incredibly beneficial as well. And I love that you know you'll always have dance in your life and what it brings to you is really important. I like to talk, Susan, about how anytime in any area of our life, whatever we're going to do, we need to know why we're doing it, right? Like, why am
mhm,
I save money? What am I saving the money for? For this? What am I getting? Why am I doing this new diet? Because I want this. We need to know why. And
mhm,
so you just stated it so clearly. I said, "Do you think you'll always have dance?" And you said, "Yes, I'll always have dance." And then you gave the list of why. And
mm.
most importantly,
Yeah, absolutely. It's not about the money. It's about the fact of enjoying it. And I mean, for me, it's been my social side here as well. I've met a whole load of new people as well. We're like a big family.
yeah.
I do my embroidery through it as well, which I enjoy. You know, yes, I like sewing and knitting and crochet, all that kind of thing as well. That's one of the ways I relax.
But did you say you do it through dancing? Like you dance while
Hmm.
you're
No, no, no. I joined an embroidery group through
okay for the
through the tap.
connection and for the
Mm,
community. Gotcha,
mm,
gotcha. I was
yeah.
like, wait a second, that sounds dangerous.
No, but through that, I've made, some friends and enjoyed it. So it's opened up other aspects because when you're in a foreign country, you you can't sit at home. You have to branch out yourself. People don't come to you. You have to go to them, you know,
That's right.
and
And
you
it's
have
nice
to learn to
have,
speak.
right. And you can have a built-in family when you go to them, and
Mm,
you're all there
mm,
for the same like-minded skill
yeah,
or yeah.
that's right. Yeah, you know, it's something you learn because I've lived in several different countries. So it's something you have to understand that, if you want to be quiet and sit at home, that's fine. But if you want to go out and do things and do other things, best to join classes. Why not? You know, and you learn. That's the one way of learning. So,
Oh, it's such a beautiful point to wrap up right there, Susan, because it's powerful for everybody at any age, right? Even
mm-hmm,
homeschooling my kids, and Sarah's on here. Sarah's got her kids are even a little bit younger than mine. Well, some of them.
mm-hmm,
But the concept of, you want your kids to socialize, you want your kids to go take a class of something, right? And
mm-hmm,
teenagers that are watching in our community whose moms are in here, and it's really for the children.
mm-hmm,
It's, get your kid in a class, put yourself in a
mm-hmm,
class, because when you're in a class, you're building that camaraderie of a group that is
mm-hmm,
there for that like-minded thing, but you're also doing that social that is
mm-hmm,
sometimes it's so hidden in the lesson of it, but you're there for the same reason, sharing that beautiful energy. And
mm-hmm.
at any age, you can learn anything. And I think
That's true.
that's what I love is you didn't even start tap till you were 40.
There's
Uh,
there's no age. There's no age for dance. You can do it at any age, and even if you're sat in a wheelchair, you can still dance. You can still enjoy music. You know.
yep. Oh, Susan, say it again. Say it again 100 more times. People need to hear it because again, we have this visual of what dance looks like. We see a young girl with a big, beautiful jump, or we see somebody with
Mm,
salsa and they're wearing their sexy outfit or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but that's not me. That's okay. That isn't
mhm.
you. You're right.
No.
But what is this going to bring in your life? And what do you
Mhm,
really want to do? Follow your
mhm,
joy. I keep saying that so much over the past month specifically. I've been saying, follow your joy, and you can dance at any age. And I agree. You can dance in a wheelchair. You can
mhm,
dance, with, oh my gosh, there's so many incredible dancers all over the world that are dancing with, less than a able body, if you will
mhm.
say that. Um,
Yeah, anybody can. And I
everyone.
think um, even I've heard people that are even deaf, they can somehow get the rhythm. They can feel it. So, you know, it's something you can always enjoy, no matter who or what. Yeah, certainly. Brings
Absolutely. Well,
a
Susan,
smile.
it does bring a smile, and it brings confidence, which is game changing in your life. When you feel just an ounce more confidence in your day, it changes everything about how you feel, how you move forward, how you speak, how you carry yourself. It is
Mm,
powerful. And that's one of the things when you said it, that is one of the biggest things for me is I love to empower people to dance through life because I know that dance,
mhm,
whatever that looks like, wherever you are on that journey, it does build
mhm.
your confidence. It does. Will it back you into a corner sometimes and make you feel like you're not doing so great? Because we will have those days where we're like, it's so frustrating. I can't get it today. That's a mindset.
Amazing, amazing, Chrissy. Yes,
Yeah. Oh, that's
absolutely. I
Sarah.
agree.
Sarah said, and I'm going
Mm,
to read this for everybody in the recording to hear this. Sarah said, "My friend is a quadriplegic, and he dances by blowing into a straw and moving his wheelchair. It is absolutely incredible, empowering, and motivating." Yes. And it's always finding it to be your way, right? That dance is
mhm,
supposed to look like you. And so I just want to share that too, is as we're wrapping up, is you can dance at any age, everyone can dance,
mhm,
but also that it isn't supposed to look like everybody else. Susan's not supposed to look like me. I'm not supposed to look like Lindsay and Christopher and Sarah and anybody else watching. It's truly supposed to be, dance is for you. It is a gift
mm,
for you first. And if you treat it that way and you respect it that way, the art becomes so rich and so magical. But if you're in a classroom setting and you're always trying to strive to the next best thing and impress the teacher and nail the things, I do think you're getting some of the benefits of dance for sure. You're building a lot of
mm,
other
mm,
discipline and all that stuff. But I do think that when you step out of that, if you only hold the value of dance being to perfect the skills and the steps, you're missing such a rich part of what it is for you that you're gaining every single time you hear that music and every single time you move your body. Uh, it's
Oh
beautiful.
well, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all part. It's good though. It's one way to walk through life, I think. Enjoy dance. Why not?
100%. Well, Susan, this is exactly why I wanted to have you as a member spotlight, because I absolutely cherish how you dance through life and
Thank
what it
you.
has been for you over all these years. You know, you and I have talked a few times randomly in different
Hmm.
live tap classes or abundance meetings and stuff, and to hear how it has served you. I didn't know you started when you were 5. I thought you started when you were like 15. So I missed the whole first part of your story. So I love learning that about you. I did know about your children, which is phenomenal, and all of their beautiful experiences with art in that way. But I was always curious if your husband first or whatever husbands had any interest in the movement and in the art. And of course, it makes sense. It makes so much sense as I hear more of your story.
Hmm.
I'm grateful that I get to share any bit of dancing through life with you. And I know that people watching this will be inspired by your story, Susan, because you dance a lot and and I don't mean a lot like so many hours, which you do, but you dance in so many different ways. You know, you dance with language, you teach languages, you know so many languages, you dance in different art forms of dance and in different phases.
Hmm.
It's just absolutely beautiful and so inspiring. Well, Susan, thank you for your time.
That's
And
okay.
those of you that jumped in here live with us, thank you for doing that. That makes this conversation so fun. And I will share this replay in our community for anybody else that wants to catch it and just hear how this impacts our lives in our own way. I
That's all right.
appreciate you so much. All right. Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
Bye.